Bunge Michael. I am from Uganda. I am a leader and I am a councillor representing the youth at council. I'm a Pan-Africanist and I've been engaged in quite a number of engagements that look at engaging Pan-Africanist values and principles, as well as democracy as a concept and how we can enhance civic engagement within, basically in schools and also in our communities. I do that with my organization where I'm a founder. It is a community-based organization based in Entebbe. It is called Engage 360. I belong to the political party of Democratic Party, where I vied for presidency in earlier this year in June, and I won, but surprisingly the gatekeepers in the party kept me away and said that probably they never wanted me and they declared someone else. So these are some of the challenges I have faced as a young person, but they have moved me to see that I do something so that I do not cry for the position that I have lost, but I look forward and see how I can impact the people, and I am of value, I am of impact. The very same impact I wanted to do if I got the position is the very same impact that I am doing, and that is why I started Engage 360. The flip that happened to me, the shattering of dreams by those who think that they should control the political systems, I just got it and turned it into an opportunity to engage into another meaningful venture, and that was starting a community-based organization to support all the other young people who are still in the schools, those in the communities who need to understand about their governance, who need mentorship, who need linking to opportunities so that they get to know of capacity building trainings. They get a space to network with others who are not in their communities so that we build a very strong democratic Africa. We build a society that has Pan-African values that are united and we demand for the change we really need. Yeah, more to that, I am a researcher as well, and I am also a tour operator in Uganda. So I take tourists around, do itineraries for them, and quite a lot of interesting things.
Mm-hmm. What is the most beautiful place to visit in Uganda?
Yeah, there are quite a lot. You know, Uganda is the pearl of Africa and it has a lot of beautiful places. But depending on the time you have, we can see where you can come. We do have the gorillas in the Buindi Impenetrable National Park. It would be something beautiful to see the giant, you know, gorillas, the silverbacks and everything. But I would recommend that personally for you, you would visit the Makshon Falls. We have the most powerful fall in Africa, and that is the Makshon Falls. And actually they are two. Today we are in Kenya. We also have the Uhuru Falls. So you see how we are connected, because we have the Makshon Falls, the Kabalega Falls, and also the Uhuru Falls. So you would be getting a chance to see these. You see how the water is running, the sounds that are coming from the water, how God created this place and how beautiful it is. And just more to that, you're going to see also the wilderness, you're going to see the lions, you're going to see the elephants, the savannah, and the rainforest which we have in Budongo. So it is really a very good experience, and I would recommend that you come and visit not just Makshon Falls, but a tour around Uganda. The beauty with Uganda is that you get to experience not just the wilderness, but you experience the hospitality of the people. We are very welcoming people. You get to experience the abundance, the food we have, the fruits. You know, all these are results of our very much hard work that we do. The fruits we have, the crops we grow, and everything.
If you were to leave Uganda and settle in another country, which country would it be?
Oh, wow. Being that I'm from Uganda and I live in Entebbe, I would love to be somewhere where I'm close to water. And I've enjoyed Palindi for the time I have been here. I believe I would love to. But I think I've had quite a very good experience in Kenya, and I've worked closely with people from Kenya. So I think if I were not in Uganda, probably I would be staying in Kenya, but I love to stay anywhere else as long as I have my African brothers I really get comfortable within me, and then I see everyone and we can do things together. We have done quite a number of joint projects together with very many other African people. So I would be comfortable anywhere. Maybe if you want to be specific, Kenya to be specific.
Okay. Now you've talked about young people. In leadership, being in leadership, and you're mentoring young people through your organization, giving them capacity, or rather capacity building them. Do you think the young people of Africa, if not just Uganda, have all it takes to change our narratives, our African narrative, and deliver the Pan-African dream?
Yes, I do believe that we do have what it takes. The only challenge we have is that the clarity of the African dream. The information is still a little bit scanty. There is an ideal situation, an ideal place where we want to be as the African young people. There is somewhere where we want to be. Unfortunately, we are not so certain of that place. We are not certain of the things we want to find there. Yes, we want a developed Africa, we want a united Africa, but we need to go further and define what that unity is. We need to go further and define what exactly are we meaning by all these concepts. So I believe that yes, we do love the dream, but we need to be clear. And being clear is going to come by seeking information, because it is everyone's role as a young African person, whether a male or a female, regardless of the country where you're coming from. You need to understand that as Africa, we are one. The borders are not anything. The borders were just drawn by other people. But initially, history tells us that we were one continent. We were just one homestead, and we are all brothers and sisters. All we need to do is to start engaging in discussions, to understand each other's perspective, to understand everyone's contribution onto the dream of the African, onto the dream of the African young people. So I want to implore my fellow young Africans, can we engage with people from the vast places in Africa? Can we start talking about the African dream? What is your view of the African dream? Tell us, so that we also share with us, and then we can aggregate all these views, and in no time we would be able to know that we want an Africa that is defined in these ways. That way we are going to know specifically what we want. However, this is something that has started. You know, for our fathers, the Kwame Nkrumahs, the Steve Bikos, the Nelson Mandelas have done this, and we know what exactly. We need an Africa where we can move freely, without borders, without a requirement of a visa, where it is easy to move from Uganda to Kenya, where it is very easy to move and go to Ethiopia, where I can go to Morocco, where I can go to Burkina Faso, without having to transit through another country. We need to trade with each other. We need to see the opportunities that we can get from our friends and neighbors, and we all can also know what exactly to offer them. So these are things we need, but to attain them, we need to first have a discussion. We need to understand ourselves. We need to aggregate all those views, and we summarize them into things that are really tangible and issues that we can talk about. So once we do that, we would be progressing closer to our African dream, and we shall achieve it someday.
So you've mentioned about us defining and being practical about what we really want. So talking about a borderless Africa, what does it look like, really?
The borderless Africa goes beyond not just moving and don't find a border post. No. We are looking at an Africa where I can freely move and go to another territory where it is not my community, but still in Africa, and I can move without any hindrance, without a requirement of a travel document, without requiring a visa to first go to that place, because we are moving in an area that is ours. We are one as Africans. These issues of the country, yes, that is our locality, but we are one. Africa is the village we have, and it is for all of us. So we are looking at moving without visas. We are looking at utilizing the opportunities, not just moving, that we are going there, see things and all that. But we are moving to take opportunities. We are moving to share knowledge. We are moving to learn. We are moving to explore. And all these things are beneficial in one way or the other, because I know that when I move to another African state, I am going to spend money there. I am going to learn. I'm going to get new knowledge in that area. I am going to get an opportunity. I am going to teach, because I'm bringing an opportunity to these people. I will realize that, oh, I am in this area. I have realized there is this gap. So these people do not know about this. I will talk about it to them. It will be an opportunity to trade with them, to introduce something new to them, and I bring it so that they can ease their lives, so that they can benefit, and that I also benefit as an African. And then our governments as well can benefit, and everyone will be able to benefit out of this. So we are looking at a borderless Africa that goes just beyond the word borderless, but we are looking at opportunities. We are looking at how we can have learning experiences, sharing experiences, benchmarking, partnerships, all from this borderless Africa.
Talking about us uniting and the borderless Africa, we've seen the current move that Tanzania made. What's your opinion on that?
Well, generally, I was also surprised when Tanzania decided to ring-fence some of their sectors, and they are saying that they are not ready to negotiate about that, but they want to ring-fence them for the Tanzanians. First, I do resonate with the Tanzanians because I know they are trying to build their economy and ring-fencing for maybe their common people. However, we also need to understand that we have an East African integration. We are one, and we have decided to help each other. If at this time, when we need to unify, when we need to be united, we get into the smaller issues of trying to say, oh no, I need to retain this, I need to retain this, I think it will set a very bad precedence for other countries, because next Uganda will also come and say that no, we need to ring-fence this sector, we need to ring-fence this sector. Then Sudan will also do the same, South Africa will do the same, Algeria will do the same, and at the end of the day, we should have not helped our people. I think the Tanzanian government needs to look broader than just the Tanzanians, but look at also all the brothers of Africans, and also look at the benefits that can come with trading with other countries in Africa. I think, therefore, that we should think more, and Tanzania as well, I would urge them to think more of where they can get a comparative advantage and focus on that as a country, so that they can trade with others, than ring-fencing. Because ring-fencing is pushing away. We need to attract at this moment. We need to build bridges. We don't need to build walls, because we cannot develop when we are just by ourselves. You don't learn anything when you are alone. You learn when you are engaging with people. You learn when you are creating networks. You learn when you are accept that indeed I need help in this area. I want to urge fellow young Africans to join the Pan-Africanist movement. It doesn't require you to be belonging to a certain society or anything. We all need to have the African dream with us in our heads. We need to all believe that this is achievable. I know people look at it and they think it is a vague, it is an ambiguous dream, that probably we cannot attain it. I want to assure you, all nations in the world that have been able to progress, they started small, and they had the determination to see that they moved their nations, and it was everyone's involvement that made it happen. Therefore, we need you to be part of this cause. We need you to believe in the cause, and not just believing, but working towards what you believe in. Let's look at quite a number of scenarios. In the past, our people started the Pan-African issue, and they engaged their colleagues from various countries. Today we are here and we are able to even have these conversations because of the foundation they laid. If they didn't, and they fear that it was an ambiguous dream, probably wouldn't be adding the brick. We need to make a contribution. contribution, and I call everyone to make a contribution. You make that contribution by engaging yourself in looking out for opportunities for knowledge on this, by looking at how you yourself can support the Pan-Africanist movement. In your individual capacity, you can do it. You can come and do something. You can talk about this. You can spread the message to a friend. Tell them that we need to identify our dream as Africa. We need to be united. We need to develop Africa because it is the only continent we have. It is ours. We have no other home. If you cannot do it for yourself, do it for the ones who are going to come after you. Let them have a very peaceful and very developed place. We are having some bit of peace. We are having a lot of good things as Africa, but our forefathers fought for the things we have today. Therefore, be like them. Fight for those who will come. Do something today. Read about Pan-Africanism. See the principles, the values. Make them part of you. Do this every day. Engage your colleagues and your friends, your family, to see that together we can do something. We make a contribution. If we are building a house, they laid the foundation. We are currently building. Can you add a brick onto that? And slowly, if everyone does, we shall complete this building. We shall have peace in Africa. We shall have unity. We shall have development. And we shall have a very good place to live. Us and those to come. I thank you. We are blessed that we have already researched weapons. We have examples, valid and many of them, of how other nations, other continents have been able to unify themselves, to build progress that is steady up to today. We can take an example of the United States of America. We can look at how Europe unified. We can look at China, how they were able to build themselves and help themselves to be almost a superpower today. We have the chance to read about this. So therefore, I need to urge all of you, let us look out for information. Let us look for knowledge so that we can get all these concepts, try to understand them, analyze them, and forge a way forward for Africa. There is an issue of corruption that is affecting many. These issues are the very similar issues that happened in China, they happened in America, they happened in Europe, but they were able to because it was statesmanship. Can we have Pan-Africanism is looking at us, looking and caring for everyone in the community. Unity being key. And there is no way you're going to be united and you think you're going to be a statesman when you cannot leave the selfishness aside. You need to be selfless. So, corruption in all its forms, in forms of nepotism, in forms of bribery and all these are things we need to put aside and don't care about just ourselves, but we care for the future that we want. We care for the Africa that we want. We care for a new development that we are crafting. Let us put all these bad vices aside and we leave anything that is just looking at us as persons, but look at the broader dream. Let us look at the African dream. Once we do that, we are going to be able to achieve. And then we have this channel, Africa RETELLS TV. It is helping us to move and get information. Please like, subscribe, and share this content so that another person can get to know of the stories of Africa, can track the progress of where we are, where we have reached, what we need to do, so that it is simplified. In just a few minutes, someone is able to understand what other Pan-Africanists are doing, how they can also make a contribution, and a contribution where we don't require any money, but a contribution where you just need to spread the gospel, share the video, talk to another person, understand Pan-Africanism, and then we shall be able to move forward. Thank you for supporting.